funny, it's one of the shortest books in the Bible, and yet it's had an immense impact. It's had an immense impact because the key to its story of the 3 chapters is it's a call to repentance and prayer. The people are sinful, and how will they come to rights with God? They will have to turn back to God, they will have to do penance, and they will have to fast. So how has it had an impact? Well, Christians since the 2nd century have been celebrating a time before Easter called Lent. And it was a time when they were getting ready for baptism, but it was also a time when they were doing repentance. And during that time, they read the book of Joel. And Joel is read at the beginning of Lent, and it sets the whole theme. So Christians all over the world today, when they celebrate this 40 days, they don't do as much fasting as they used to. They read this book to give them the headline for what they're going to do. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the aged, gather the children, even infants at the breast. Let the bridegroom leave his room, let the bride leave her canopy. Between the vestibule and the altar, let the priests, the ministers of the Lord, weep. Let them say, spare your people, O Lord, and do not make your heritage a mockery, a byword among the nations. Why should it be said among the peoples, where is their God? Joel we call him one of the minor prophets, working probably in a few centuries before Jesus. What else do we know about him? Nothing. He tells us who is. He tells us, you can always find little bits in the book that says, knows such and such and knows such and such, but we really know nothing. So all we know about Joel is he was read as a call to repentance, and Christians have continued to read him as a call to repentance. He says there's going to be a great judgment in the Valley of Josaphat, and the Valley of Josaphat is just outside Jerusalem. And people during the Middle Ages went and measured the Valley of Josaphat to see would there be enough room for all the people that were going to be judged there. As late as people like Baruch Spinoza, the philosopher, he was wondering, how many people could be tried in the Valley of Josaphat. And then other people said, well, let's measure the Valley of Josaphat and find out how many people you could fit in, and then you could find out how many people could be judged. You might be able to find out when the world would end. So sort of people that are interested in sort of taking imagery and turning it into mathematics and turning poetry into counting, they have often looked to Joel because they found the Valley of Josaphat just too exciting not to go out with our measuring tapes.